What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you are already subscribed, shout out to you. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 major money mistakes that I've made within trucking. And without further ado, we'll just jump into it because we've got quite a bit to talk about. Number one is going to be not keeping track of my money. And before, when I was at my first job, I think my first big job, I was getting like I think maybe $600 every 2 weeks or something like that, like $1,200 every month, or maybe $2,000 every month. Yeah, it's been such a long time. It was like 10 years ago. And so what I did not do was keep track of my funds, and I would just spend it here, spend it here, spend it here. And when I downloaded an app, I can't remember what it was. When I downloaded an app, it kept track of my biggest expenses and where it went. And especially in trucking, it would say, wow, you spent this much amount of money at McDonald's. And I said, wow. Now, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I do meal prep, and sometimes I eat like very cheap meals. But I noticed that a lot of my money was getting put towards fast food, little insignificant items. And I'm telling you, if you ever look at how much you spend at a Pilot or a Love's, it'll make you sick. So when I started keeping track of these things, and I'm very cognizant of where my money is going. I look at my bank's statement every single day, so I know, okay, it's gonna be around this much today. I get my bills, I keep track of those. I'm trying to alleviate all the bills I have as much as possible. But once I started keeping track of things, I've seen a greater improvement within saving and whatnot. But the next one is actually going to be overspending. So I noticed that once I was tracking a lot of these purchases, I was overspending. A lot of times my bank account, and I'm being completely honest with you, was in the negative, and I didn't have overdraft fees. Some accounts that I used to have, I got rid of because I had overdraft fees. I was like 17, 18, 19, 20, and I was living check to check, just trying to get by at that time, and it was a better time than now. But then when I became a truck driver, I still had that same philosophy. I was overspending, trying to make up, create an excuse, say that I'll get the money back next week, and that needed to stop. And so my mindset shifted to this next one, which is going to be showing out, right? I realized that my overspending, and I'm looking at my phone because I wrote it down, but I realized that my overspending was due to the fact that I wanted to show out for people at that time. I wanted to show them that I had this, I had that, I had this. And I remember the worst possible purchase that I've ever made was a Versace belt. And that Versace belt, I put it on a credit card. And so I had the money, I put it on a credit card, and I accrued so much interest. I had to pay down so much. So what cost a $600 belt costs $1,000 later on. So that's $400 that I literally gave to the bank, the credit card company. And that's why when I do things now, I have a Capital One venture card. And what I do is I use that card throughout the week, and then I pay it off the next week. And I have that money. So I already have that money in my bank account. And so I decide, okay, you know what? I have that money in my bank account. If I go over, I will have to eat it. So it doesn't matter how much I went over. I know that all my bills, the amount per month. Anything extra that I have is going to be on the side, but if I eat into it, I have to pay for it. I can't just wait a whole week and then pay for it. That's not how I roll. I'm very scared of getting behind on credit cards because of some stupid decisions that I made, but I'm still, paying for the older me, the decisions that individual decided to make, which was me. But still, I'm like, man, dude, why did you do that? So next thing that I'm going to jump into is going to be the lack of financial knowledge. So I got down, got over showing out. I started to get rid of a lot of things, but the lack of financial knowledge. I didn't understand exactly what money was, and I didn't understand the concept of currency. Now, I like this analogy, which money is exactly like water, or an ocean, right? So sometimes let's just say you're the type of person you want to keep cash underneath your mattress. Okay, that's cool, but it's like stale water. You know, it could stay there for some years and get mucky and ucky and nasty. And then by the time you want to actually use it or drink that water, it's not good anymore. You can still drink it, but it's not good. Or it's evaporated and it moved somewhere else. So that somebody robbing you or something like that if you keep your money under the mattress. Now, I'm not saying that technique is wrong, but also you have to look at the ocean, right? Sometimes it's like very volatile waves, and so it's like, okay, wow, if I threw my money into like the stock market, I could have a 10%, 12% return within my Roth IRA. That's fantastic. If I do individual stocks, it's like a huge tidal wave. So that once I learned the concept of money being currency, and on top of that a tool, and then thirdly a promissory note, I now look at money a different way. It's no longer this. The way money is turning into now, it's just a digital kind of currency. It's not even. A lot of people don't even carry cash anymore, and I know people are upset. Like, no man, nobody carrying cash anymore. This is horrible, and I get it. I mean, I came into a time where like credit card machines were like you had to roll them and stuff. I was on the tail end to that, and then you had like the machine that you swipe. You used to swipe your card. You had to swipe again. Then you had to insert your card. Okay, now it's just tap to pay. So I've seen a lot of iterations. I know a lot of older people have seen a lot more. And then on top of that, no discipline to save. I did not have the discipline because I would see something, and especially coming into trucking, I wanted it. I talked about the Versace belt, but it would be clothes, it would be things for my daughter, and I would just say, you know what, I'm gonna make up the money later on. And the thing is that if you live every week like, okay, I'm waiting for my next check to cover my mistakes on this check, what will guarantee you in the future is if a potential layoff, a potential accident happens, it'll guarantee that you'll be in a deficit, and then you will go under. And that's why it is very important not to have any bills. If you could keep your bills to just shelter, food, the basics, just the basics, and don't go extravagant until you are making 3 times the amount of money, then I would be like, okay, you can live an extravagant life, but I was trying to go fast really, really quick, and it was a boom of a lot of things in 2020 and 2021. We had certain situations that were going on, but it was a better time than we have now with economic stress that's going around. But give me 1 second. So regardless if you're in trucking or you're just looking to you make similar amount of money, you just got to this, I highly advise take care of your debt. I know that a lot of individuals want to flaunt their clothes, they want to flaunt their shoes, they want to do all these things. For the longest, I thought that's what I had to do. I had to wear gold and stuff. I don't even do that anymore. It's not even, I even when I have money, I don't I don't, and I'm talking about real good, like, let's just say I have, I don't know, $200,000 sitting up in the bank. I don't even look at that anymore. I look at it like, okay, what can I do to keep me afloat? I'm not going to say that I won't indulge in certain things, but I've been in survival for so long that if I am in thrive mode, I don't want to ruin it because of stupid, minute decisions to keep up with the Joneses. So, these are the 5 things that I've learned as a truck driver, and I'm glad that I learned them very young, because if I learned this years ago, I would have been ahead now. Had I known about the stock market, had I known about financial literacy, had I known about any of these things, and I had the opportunity to, I had a dad that was I have a dad, that is very knowledgeable within this field. I just decided to go my own way. And the older you get, the more you realize, like, man, you know, I have to make better decisions while I'm young. Don't make too risky of a move if you decide to, you know, make an investment. Don't throw everything at it, because I mean, some of the horror stories when I see about investments, I'm like, geez, man. And I had my own investment where I'm like, oh man, I made a horrible decision right there. But it's just, you know, learn from them. And this video is not just for you who's watching, it's for me too. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Peace.